So my role in the project is to deliver DOCK10's virtual studio for the broadcast part of the Weavr project.
I'm the project manager for the Weavr XR part of the project, so that mostly includes making sure everyone's sticking on task, monitoring progress, coordinating meetings, documentation. Our development team is made up of 4 full-time developers and our CTO, who also spends a lot of time working on Weavr. Since COVID, we've been completely remote. As a result, we've been able to hire talent from across the country, so very few of the newest hires are actually based in the local area.
Half of the development team at DOCK10 designs the set visuals, and the other half develops the back-end software infrastructure for the data integration that comes from York University. The broadcast system we use is based on Unreal Engine, so we all have an art or design background. Personally, I spent 16 years in the games industry. And the rest of the team have all got sort of similar experience and history. The software development team all hold degrees, qualifications in software development, and they've all come from various different programming backgrounds from various different companies.
One of the reasons I joined Future Visual was to implement agile methodologies into the development cycle. So we follow agile in terms of process. We're currently doing 2-week sprints, but that can and does change when required. In terms of development systems, we use a lot of applications. So we use the Unity engine, Firebase for data storage, Postman for our API client, AR Core and ARKit for augmented reality development, and Vuetify for user interfaces. We also use Google Drive and the workspace tools like Docs and Sheets. We use Jira to manage tickets and plan out work, and Confluence as a wiki and information space.
When the first lockdown started in March last year, we were tasked with delivering an educational show for the BBC. We didn't have any time to plan any remote working processes or anything like that, so all of our processes sort of developed on the fly. Since then, we've been working remotely for pretty much a year from various places around the Northwest. We use a streaming solution to work remotely on our machines, which are housed in the building in DOCK10.
I've definitely learned that remote working isn't the productivity hole that people in general considered it to be pre-COVID.
Creatively, our output hasn't really been impacted by remote working. We've delivered a further 4 projects since COVID hit, so we are considering keeping our remote practices for some time.
A big challenge for someone in my sort of job with remote working is it can be difficult to get quick answers. And clarity is extremely important in general when you can't just double check something constantly during the day. So as a result, with the remote working, the documentation has actually got more thorough. The tickets have become more detailed, and processes are generally more strictly enforced, but by the individual rather than me.
I also find it difficult to know when somebody's working and when somebody's on the lunch, or if they're on a break time, or even when they've finished work. You know, it's very tempting to walk next door and carry on working, because that line between work and home has kind of been erased. It's not good for your well-being, I don't think. To allow productions to continue recording throughout the lockdown, DOCK10 have introduced quite a lot of measures to keep all the staff safe and all the production crews safe. One of the main ones that affected Weavr was a reduced capacity. So within the gallery and within the on the studio floor, we had to strip back the amount of people that were allowed in each space. So it went from probably in one of the galleries, it went from 4 down to 2, which means that there's a lot more communication needed beforehand. The Weavr framework is a huge undertaking with many moving parts, so it took me personally a while to get a grasp on what each piece was and how it all came together. It's also a very collaborative project, so one of the more enjoyable aspects is seeing the progress of each member and contributing to it. The Weavr project was originally due to complete in December 2020, but due to various reasons, COVID being one of them, we've now extended it to June 2021, which gives the consortium the opportunity to look at another IP, another esports IP, which is potentially Counter-Strike, and it also allows DOCK10 to focus on pivoting to more traditional sports. So we're currently looking at football for that. We're currently working on our investor deck and we're looking to secure more seed funding, which will help with R&D in some more commercial propositions. So that could be a more traditional IP, or that could be another esports IP.
Our focus for the next quarter is on streaming tools and redesigning our UI, as well as completing optimization for the Oculus Quest. These are all challenges with remote teams, especially when it comes to rapid group testing, but it's nothing we can't handle.